Hello, guess what? Today is actually the first day of fashion school. I'm very excited. Technically it's my first day, but it's not the first day of classes yet. We still have quite a bit of, orientation days. But today is like the actual first day. It's the opening ceremony. And so that is what I'm getting ready for. I just finished my makeup. Now we move on to hair. But the fashion school that I got into is the one in Tokyo. And I'm not sure how it really works where you are, but in Japan, the very first day is this opening ceremony where you all wear suits. Yes, suits. I don't know if that's how it is done in like the US, but we all wear suits, and then it's basically like they just say welcome and they talk a little bit about what to expect. Oh yeah, and it's the day that I finally get my student ID card, which is really exciting. But other than that, I'm not quite sure what they're gonna talk about. But yeah, it starts at lunchtime, which thank goodness, because if it were early in the morning, I definitely would not have had time to like emotionally get ready. I also would not have had time to, spend this morning with you guys. So I'm really happy about that. It actually starts at lunch and then it ends at like 2 p.m. But it's actually so crazy to me that it's actually happening, because when I first found out that I got in, that was all the way back in November. It's currently April. And it was actually the earliest application method. There's like a bunch of different ways you could apply and they all have different dates. The one that I did was the earliest one that you could do, and it's called the AO entrance exams, AO Nish, which basically is like this newer form of entrance exams where instead of like a standard paper test or your grades, of course you would submit all of that as well, but they judge based on like passion and how much skills and talent and motivation that you have. And so for me, since it's a fashion school, again, instead of just like test scores, instead it was like this big thing where you could literally choose whatever theme you want and you would make a piece of like dress or clothing or any garment, and then you would make a little presentation alongside it so that you can present what the theme is, why you chose it, the process of making it, and most importantly what you learned from it. And you'd basically be displaying the garment right next to you on a body form mannequin, and then that is what you would be graded on. And then there is a little section afterwards where they would ask you a bunch of questions about your future, why you chose the school, what you plan on doing if you get in. So I decided to do this whole presentation based on the movie Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, and I basically imagined the dress that she would wear after the movie, because at the end of the movie, she kind of becomes a new version of herself that is grown, that is more confident, and it's like, what would she choose to wear after that point? And because my fashion school obviously offered like fashion design and also costume design, I want to get into costume design, and I want to design costumes for movies and film. And so to kind of show that I want to go into costumes, I decided to do a whole section of the presentation on character analysis and analyzing on her personality, her growth, and why I thought she would wear the piece that I made. And I actually got one of the top scores, and the reason why I know that is because they have this thing where the top few people out of all like the people who applied would get this little slip in their envelope that you would get to figure out if you got in or not, and it actually gets you quite a bit of a discount on tuition. And I got it. That little slip was in my envelope, and apparently I got one of the top grades, which is insane to me because I don't have that much experience. And I remember when I went to actually like do the presentation, there were a few other people in the waiting room with me with their pieces, and some of them I could tell they were probably from like a fashion high school or very specialized. So I was really nervous, But everything turned out, and now it's been how many months? 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. It's been 6 months, and you may be wondering what I was doing during those 6 months because I did have a little bit of school left from November to like the end of February, early March, and then for about a month after that I've had nothing to do. A lot of my friends got their driving license, or they saved up a bunch by, you know, doing part-time jobs. I spent it hanging out with you guys, and I try to really learn how to make videos so that I could carry through once fashion school starts. So yeah, for that whole like 6 months, I of course knew that I got in and I knew that I was gonna start going, but it's like, I don't know, I didn't really believe it much because, I mean, I don't know. It never felt like this day would come, you know? But I thought I could record, I don't know if I want to make it a whole week or a few days, maybe just orientation and then maybe a separate video for like the actual first day of class, but I don't know, regardless I'm going to be filming and documenting the whole process, so I hope you would come along with me. I'm very, very excited. I've been wanting to do this for so long. We'll also explore a bunch of Tokyo because I live about an hour and like a half away by train, so I never really went into the center of Tokyo that much, except now that, you know, school is going to be in the city, I'm going to be going there every single day, and so we can explore and it would be so much fun. It's currently 9:44. I feel really nervous, but I will let you guys know how it goes. And now I am back. I'm so sorry, I completely forgot I was making a video, and I was just so nervous this morning that I completely forgot to take any videos of me in a suit. I was going to, like, you know, I already picked out the outfit, but like I was gonna put on the outfit with you guys and be like, isn't it weird? But it literally felt like I was somebody else. It was the first time I ever wore a suit, like a full-on suit, and I just want to say, it is normal here in Japan, it's like the standard here, that for the very first day of school, for university, you would wear a suit. And it would be very, very formal, and that's kind of like the unspoken rule. Technically, they don't tell you a dress code, but it's just like, that's just how it is. Except, I guess, for fashion school, because I literally went and everyone was wearing their own thing. Like, it was insane, okay? We all sat down. It was so cramped. It was shoulder to shoulder. And the thing about me is that I overheat very, very quickly, and I sweat a lot. Like, I sweat so much. And also, it was kind of hot in there, honestly, but I quite literally look like an old grandpa if I took off my blazer, and so I need to keep it on and I need to keep it buttoned up. And I was so sweaty and it was so awkward because literally shoulder to shoulder. But I'm telling you, the guy on my right was like full on goth, okay? Spiky hair, bleached brows, black lipstick, full on black outfit, and I was like, I didn't know that was allowed. On the left side was like the complete opposite, and it was this really pretty girl, but she was wearing full on like a dress, like a doll. She looked like a doll in real life, which was also insane. And then I would look ahead and there's people with like bright orange hair, bright green hair, blue hair, side ponytail literally from here. It's like the biggest side ponytail with like a giant bow. Literally looked like she came out of like a superhero anime or something. It was insane, and there were people with so many different hair, and I literally saw like the biggest and like tallest shoe ever, and there were people with tattoos and then crazy piercings, and it's just like, and there were also people wearing casual clothes as well. And like, I'm telling you, it's like, it's unbelievable. And did I make any friends? I felt so invisible. I felt even more invisible than I did in high school, which I didn't even know was possible. First off, I was like the odd one out. I was like the freak there because I was wearing a regular suit. It was just me and a few other people, and crazy, just crazy. But I have a feeling that you really can do whatever you want and nobody would kind of judge you, and so I am really, really excited. But yeah, the building was huge. The station was also huge because I was going into the city, and I genuinely got so lost. I was panicking so bad, and it also took me like legit 30 minutes to get out of the building, which just get to a door and you could probably get out. I couldn't find a door. Like, it was huge. But yeah, I came home. I changed into my pajamas real quick. I also freaking hate high heels. That thing dug into my heel and into like my foot, and it hurt so bad, and the amount of time I stumbled because of it was also insane. I never want to do that again. Today they didn't really do anything. We just like listened to all of like the teachers and the principals and stuff, and people talk. And then we sang the school anthem, which I completely forgot the existence of. I didn't know that you were supposed to know it beforehand, but also nobody else was singing, so it was fun, but it was cool, and I guess refreshing to kind of have a new one. And then afterwards we went up into a different classroom to get our student IDs, and I also found out that I'm Class A, which I don't really think it means anything, and yeah, that was pretty much it. So tomorrow is going to be the start of orientation for about like a week. And that is when everything gets figured out. That is also when I sign up for all the classes, and then after that is when we officially start. So I'm really excited for tomorrow. I'm excited to see everyone like in the classroom for the first time. But yeah, I'm incredibly tired. This was so draining, but also this is fun. This is gonna be so much fun. I can't believe I get to go into the city again and again and again, like every day I could go. But yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep now. I'm exhausted. You guys, what the heck? It was actually really cool. I finally got to meet everyone in the class for the first time. Everybody had like their own distinct style. They didn't seem as intimidating. I guess for big events they go full out, like the entrance, not the entrance ceremony, but like the very first day, the ceremony. But now everyone kind of wore like a little more casual clothes, but they all were styled beautifully, and it was like really good. And I was able to talk with a bunch of people, and we all went home together to the station, and it was a really nice day, and I'm so excited to keep going. But now we're gonna get straight into work, because not even like the first day of class, it's the first day of orientations, and we already have a bunch of homework to do. So the first thing that I have to do is submit a photo of my face, which is gonna be quick, but our teachers wanted to memorize our face and our name, so they wanted us to submit it, which I thought was really kind. I was told that university teachers were a lot more cold and strict, and they told me that everything in university was going to be different, and that they wouldn't tell you anything, and you have to ask yourself, and you have to figure everything out yourself. Well, there definitely is a lot more to ask about because of how different everybody's curriculums are, but they're still kind, and they're still going to tell us, you know? Like, it was just so much better than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, I'm really excited. I want class to start already, but before that, I also need to put in which classes I'm going to take, which is going to be a bit of... I'm having a brain fire. What's like a short phrase or word for like, it's going to be exhausting for the brain? Like a brain trick? A brain trap? Anyways, I'm sure you know what I'm trying to say. I'm so tired. Going into the city packed with people is not for the weak. And I promise I'll get more footage. And I want to, like, instead of just talking in my bedroom behind like a plain white wall, I want to take you guys along, but I can't do that yet. I'm not ready for... But yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I also need to write a 300-word thing talking about why I, came to the school, and what I'm trying to do, and what my dream is, and what my goal is and stuff. So I just have to quickly write it, submit that as well. And then there's also an English test that I have to take online. It's about an hour. It's like the online version of this test called TOEIC, which apparently I was told it was just an English test to figure out which classes everyone was going to go, because there's English class 1 through 5, and we all get, sorted depending on whatever scores we get. So it's nothing to do with our grades, just to check, but I didn't expect it to be like a full-on like English exam, you know. But I could do it whenever I want from home. So I want to get that done today, and then tomorrow we have off. But I'm gonna go to this like orchestra thing. My mom's a really big fan of orchestra, and she actually booked to see it live. So I'm gonna be going with them, and it's gonna be like the entire day. We may also go to the movie theater before that to watch Project Hail Mary, which I am very, very excited for. But yeah, sorry I couldn't record this morning. I'm tired, but like in a good way. Like I'm really, really excited for things to start. I just want to get all this done so that I am set for like, you know, the year. I just need to figure it out. The day after tomorrow, I'm really going to try hard to record more. But like, just, this is so much fun. This is so much fun. The one thing I don't know yet is if I'm going to tell, or if I'm going to, like, are you guys going to be my deep, dark secret? Because right now, the deepest, darkest secret that I have right now is the fact that I'm so online. I've never told anybody that I was doing YouTube or that I have you guys, which honestly, I don't know yet. Hello. So, how many days has it been? I'm not sure. It's been a week. Orientation's finally over. We didn't really do much. We just, we have like a homeroom class, which I didn't know was a thing in university, but we went, introduced ourselves. We did health checks, and that's kind of all there was. I haven't really gotten to explore the place yet, and I also haven't taken any classes yet, so I'm very, very excited. But today was the day I was able to put all the classes I wanted to take in and confirm it. There were a couple of classes where it was like not everybody could get in, so you kind of like a giveaway, like you know, apply for it and then you see if you got in or not. I really wanted to do fine arts because that one isn't actually doing the art, but it's like learning about the history of art and art in general. So that would be really useful, but that one was unfortunately one of those subjects and I couldn't get in, so that is that. But everything else, I think I got in to the one that I wanted to get into, so feels really good. And we're starting class tomorrow. Isn't that insane? Like from today at 12, we were given our like English class results from the test, and then we had 4 hours to put everything in and to get it done. And now it is 5:30, so it's past 4 o'clock now, so it is kind of solidified. And then we have about a week of actually taking class, and then you can't add any more classes, but you could take away any classes. So I did take quite a bit. I took 44 credits, but because I can't take art, it would be 42 credits. And then there's like this other thing called like a collaboration subject, which there's like a full week dedicated to just doing that during like summer break, I think. Or I don't know, there's like a specific time where you would just do that class for a whole week. And there are ones that are outside the country, like going to Italy, which I want to do, but money is a problem. I'm not quite sure if I could get it yet. And then there's of course ones you just go to university for and take class. Those ones are coming up next. I think in a couple of days I can like apply for those. If I get into one of the ones where you go outside the country, that's 4 credits. And then the one that is like within the country is about 2 credits. And so I would end up either getting 44 or 46 credits, which I'm very, very happy with. 50 is the max that you could go, and then I need to get 124 throughout the 4 years. And also I want to go to FIT, which is like this big thing where you can study abroad second year. But again, money is a problem. I don't know if I could, but if I can, I really want to go to FIT. But anyways, from tomorrow, class is going to start, and I'm going to make videos for sure. I'm going to start filming like a week in the life, first week of fashion school in Tokyo. Would be really fun. Ooh, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek on what you're going to see. Actually, I don't know if I don't know how the videos are going to look yet, but tomorrow's Thursday. What a weird day to kind of start, but okay, let's see. And they've even outlined what you're going to do every single class, which is amazing. So first up, we have History of Fashion. And then next, we have English C. There's 5 English classes from 1 all the way to 5. And, you know, 1 being, like, the top scored people, 5 being the lowest scored people of, like, the pre-English exam. I was able to get full scores on it, which it's satisfying to get 100, but it's also like one of the easiest tests I've ever taken. So I made it to class number 1. The thing that I love about this one though is that just class number 1 is fully conducted in English. And the teacher's name is also like very English. And so yeah, it's taught by a native teacher in an English only classroom, which that is really new to me. I've never had that, but I am a little bit excited for this one, honestly. So that's second period, and then third period is Japanese. Absolutely hate doing any Japanese ones. Oh, but great. The first class is literally just talking about the class. Awesome. Second class is going to be a 600 to 800 word essay on your self-introduction. I hate this one, but this one was a mandatory class. Like, you wouldn't graduate if you don't take it. So of course I took it, but if this was an option, I definitely would not be taking this one. That is my day 1. My Thursday plan. And then afterwards, I am going to try and check out some of the study areas of the school because I heard that there's a really nice study area on the 12th floor, which is insane because the area that it's in, it is inside the city, but it's not really surrounded by any other tall buildings. So the windows are gonna be so pretty and the photos look really beautiful. So I'm really hoping that I could study there. So I want to check that out. And so yeah, it's kind of a sneak peek into what the video would probably start like, the next video. If you've watched this far, thank you so much. I swear the next videos are going to get so much better. But yeah, if there's any questions that you have or if there's anything that you want to see, please let me know and I'll see you guys again in the next one. Bye.